For millions of years, Earth's surface has been in motion. Beneath our feet, continents have traveled across the planet, oceans have disappeared, and landscapes have been lifted from the depths of the Earth. Among the greatest results of this endless transformation are mountains. They appear permanent, silent, unchanging. But every peak is part of a much larger story. A story written by fire beneath the ground, shaped by water and ice. Across the planet, mountains rise into some of the most extreme environments on Earth. Here, where the air becomes thin and temperatures can change within minutes, life faces extraordinary challenges. The question is not only how mountains were created, but how life continues to adapt within them. At first light, the mountains awaken slowly. The darkness retreats from the highest ridges. Glaciers carve deep valleys through solid rock. Rivers begin their journeys from melting ice. High in the Himalayas, one of the mountain's most elusive predators moves through this difficult terrain. The snow leopard, its thick fur protects it from freezing temperatures. Its large paws act like natural snowshoes, but survival here requires more than physical strength. It requires patience. Isolation allows unique species to evolve. Different valleys become separate worlds, each with their own communities of life. The story of these giants begins deep within the Earth. The planet's outer layer is divided into enormous tectonic plates. Around 50 million years ago, the Indian plate began colliding with the Eurasian plate. An ancient ocean disappeared. Fossils reveal that some Himalayan rocks were once beneath ancient seas. A glacier may move only a few meters each year, but it can carve valleys through solid rock. For human communities, mountains have always been more than landscapes. They are sources of water and places of cultural importance. Snow and glaciers collect water, releasing it slowly through rivers that support ecosystems and human communities far away. But these ancient landscapes now face rapid change. Rising temperatures are affecting glaciers around the world. The story of mountains is the story of relationships, between rock and water, between climate and life. Mountains remind us that beauty is not simply something we observe, it is something created through time. The mountains are not separate from the planet's story, they are one of its greatest chapters. Across the surface of our planet, there is a world larger than all continents combined. A world shaped by movement, pressure, and time. The ocean. From the shoreline to the deepest trenches, water creates environments unlike any found on land. Here, sunlight disappears within minutes of leaving the surface. Temperatures can fall close to freezing. Pressure becomes powerful enough to crush ordinary machines. Yet throughout this vast realm, life has found countless ways to survive. Some creatures travel across entire oceans. Others build cities from living organisms no larger than a grain of sand. Some exist in darkness, powered not by sunlight, but by energy rising from deep within the Earth. The ocean is not an empty space between continents. It is a living system that connects every corner of the planet. But beneath the waves, one question remains. How did this hidden world become the foundation for so much life on Earth? Near the surface, the ocean appears familiar. Light reaches down from above. Warm currents flow through coastal waters. Life gathers in extraordinary abundance. Among these shallow seas are some of the most complex ecosystems on Earth. Coral reefs. They are built by tiny animals called coral polyps. These small architects create enormous structures that become homes for thousands of species. A reef is not a single organism. It is a community. Fish, corals, algae, and creatures exist in relationships built over millions of years. Some species provide shelter, others clean parasites from larger animals, some help recycle nutrients through the entire ecosystem. A reef functions like a living city. Every resident has a role, but the ocean changes dramatically with depth. As the camera descends, sunlight begins to disappear. The colors of the shallow world fade. The temperature drops. The pressure increases. The rules of survival change. In the twilight zone, hundreds of meters below, creatures move through a world where only a small amount of light remains. Some produce their own light through bioluminescence, a flash, a signal, a warning, a way to find a mate in the darkness. The deeper we travel, the less familiar the ocean becomes. Yet life continues. The story of the ocean began long before humans existed. Billions of years ago, as Earth cooled, water collected on the planet's surface. The first oceans became the birthplace of life. Within these ancient waters, simple organisms began a journey to incredible diversity. The ocean shaped the evolution of the planet itself. It influenced climate, moved heat around the globe. Today, ocean currents act as a planetary circulation system, transporting warmth from the tropics toward colder regions. The ocean and atmosphere are constantly connected. Changes beneath the waves can influence life thousands of kilometers away. Underwater mountains rise from the floor. Volcanic activity creates new crust. Deep trenches reveal the power of tectonic forces. At the bottom of the sea, scientists discovered ecosystems existing without sunlight. Around hydrothermal vents, water releases minerals. Instead of using energy from the sun, organisms use chemical energy from the earth itself. This is chemosynthesis. Across the open ocean, survival takes many forms. The blue whale represents the extraordinary scale of marine life. The largest animal known to have ever existed, it moves through a world where distance defines survival. Beneath the surface, it communicates through powerful sounds that can travel enormous distances. The ocean is not silent. The giant Pacific octopus survives through intelligence and adaptation. It can change color and texture, blending into its surroundings. It explores its environment with remarkable curiosity. In the ocean, survival does not always belong to the strongest. Far below, where sunlight never reaches, deep sea creatures have evolved extraordinary solutions. Some create their own light. The ocean does not contain one world. It contains thousands, each with its own conditions and remarkable stories. Although the ocean may seem distant, its influence reaches every person on Earth. It shapes weather and supports food systems. But the ocean is now facing pressures. Rising temperatures affect marine ecosystems. Pollution travels through currents. Understanding the ocean requires responsibility, because the future of marine life is connected to the future of life on land. The ocean is Earth's oldest storyteller. Its depths contain landscapes still waiting to be understood. Earth is not a collection of separate worlds. It is one living system, connected by the same currents. Across the planet, forests rise as some of Earth's greatest living systems. From the vast rainforests of the tropics to ancient woodlands of cooler climates, these landscapes appear to be worlds of trees. But a forest is far more than what we see. Every branch, every root, every organism is connected through relationships. Beneath the surface, hidden networks link plants together. Above the ground, countless species depend on one another for survival. A single tree is not an isolated life form. It is part of a community. It is a system that allows life to continue. At dawn, the forest begins to move. The first sounds come from above. Birds announce their presence. A rainforest is a world of layers. At the highest levels, the canopy forms a vast green ocean where sunlight is captured. Below, in the darker understory, life has adapted to limited light. Plants grow slowly. Animals move carefully through shadows. On the forest floor, another world exists. Decomposers break down fallen leaves and return nutrients to the soil. The forest is constantly recycling itself. Death becomes nourishment. Decay becomes renewal. The jaguar moves through the rainforest with extraordinary power. Its survival depends on the complex web of life surrounding it. Long before humans appeared, forests were already transforming the planet. Ancient plants spread across continents, changing the atmosphere. Inside the wood of an ancient tree are records of time. Each ring represents another year of growth, preserving history. The Amazon rainforest demonstrates the extraordinary scale of these ecosystems. Millions of species exist within its boundaries. Trees create shelter, plants provide food, animals transport seeds, insects pollinate flowers. The entire system depends on movement. Beneath the ground, fungi form partnerships with plant roots through networks known as mycorrhizae. The forest continues beneath the surface. High above the ground, orangutans demonstrate another remarkable connection. Their lives are closely linked to the forests of Southeast Asia. Young orangutans spend years learning from their mothers. their future depends on the survival of the forest itself. Forests store carbon, protect freshwater systems, and support biodiversity. They are places of knowledge, history, and identity. Today, scientists continue studying forests to understand how they respond to change. They are connected to the future of the planet. Protecting forests means protecting relationships that have taken millions of years to develop. Yet forests also reveal resilience. A seed carries the possibility of renewal. The story of forests is about what can continue. Earth's greatest strength is not found in individual parts, but in the connections between them. At the farthest edges of our planet, there are landscapes where life faces some of its greatest challenges. Here, temperatures can fall beyond the limits of human survival. Winds can sweep across the land for days without stopping. For much of the year, darkness replaces sunlight. These frozen worlds appear silent. But beneath the ice, beneath the snow, and within the surrounding oceans, life continues. The polar regions are not empty places at the end of the world. They are powerful systems that influence the entire planet. The ice stores ancient memories. The oceans carry global currents. And the animals that survive here reveal some of the most remarkable adaptations. But how does life continue in a place where the environment itself seems almost impossible? Antarctica is a continent unlike any other, a land surrounded by ocean and covered almost entirely by ice. From above, it appears motionless, but this frozen landscape is constantly changing. Glaciers flow slowly across the continent. Ice shelves extend over the ocean. Snow accumulates year after year, creating layers that preserve the history of the planet. The Antarctic ice sheet contains a record of Earth's past. Within its layers are clues about ancient atmospheres and temperatures. The ice is not simply frozen water, it is a time capsule. But Antarctica is not only a story of ice. Along its coast, one of Earth's most remarkable survival stories unfolds. The emperor penguin begins its breeding cycle during the coldest months. When temperatures fall, these birds gather together for protection. Their survival depends on cooperation. Individuals take turns facing the outside of the group, allowing others to remain sheltered. In a landscape where energy is precious, working together becomes essential. The emperor penguin survives by adapting to its environment. Over millions of years, snowfall compressed into enormous layers of ice. These glaciers grew and transformed landscapes beneath them. Ice has been one of Earth's great sculptors. But ice also tells a story. Scientists study frozen layers to understand how the planet changed. Chemical signals reveal past temperatures. Every section of ice contains information about a changing world. In Greenland, another vast frozen landscape reveals the connection between ice and the global climate system. Its frozen surface reflects sunlight back into space and helps regulate Earth's temperature. But the balance of these environments is changing. Changes in polar regions influence oceans, weather patterns, and ecosystems far beyond the Arctic and Antarctic. These currents transport heat around the planet, linking distant environments together. The story of ice is the story of Earth's climate. Far north, another frozen world exists. The Arctic is different. Instead of a continent covered by ice, it is an ocean surrounded by land. The polar bear has evolved around this environment. Its powerful body and thick insulation allow it to hunt across the Arctic sea ice, but its survival depends on a fragile connection. The sea ice provides access to the marine food web beneath it. In Antarctica, another small creature supports a vast ecosystem, Antarctic krill. Though tiny, these animals exist in enormous numbers. The blue whale, one of the planet's greatest giants, depends on these small organisms during its migrations through polar waters. In the frozen oceans, survival is connected. A tiny creature can influence the existence of giants. From microscopic organisms to powerful predators, every species carries the history of adaptation. Life here is defined by extraordinary solutions. Today, scientists continue the journey of explorers. They study ice, oceans, and wildlife to understand how these environments are transforming. The polar regions act as an early warning system for the planet. Changes here can reveal larger changes happening across Earth. The ice connects everything. The water that melts from glaciers can influence oceans around the globe. For human communities, the relationship with ice is personal. It provides routes, resources, and cultural connections built across generations. Understanding these environments requires both scientific knowledge and respect for those who have lived alongside them. Frozen regions are places of connection. Ice records history, oceans carry energy, animals reveal the power of adaptation. The changing landscapes of the poles remind us that Earth is always in motion. Ice is not simply a barrier, it is part of the system that makes life possible. At Earth's frozen edges, we discover a powerful truth. Even in the harshest places on the planet, life finds a way to continue. Across the planet, there are landscapes where water becomes one of the greatest challenges life can face. Places where rain may not fall for years, where temperatures can rise beyond human endurance during the day, and drop dramatically after sunset. These are the deserts of Earth. At first glance, they appear empty, silent seas of sand and stone. But beneath this silence exists a hidden world, a world of specialized plants, remarkable animals, and ancient cultures that have learned to survive through extraordinary adaptation. The desert is not defined by what it lacks. It is defined by what life has discovered. Here, evolution has spent millions of years creating solutions to one of nature's greatest challenges: how to survive when almost every resource is limited. As the sun rises over the desert, the landscape begins to transform. During the night, many creatures have been active. The cooler darkness provides protection from the extreme heat of the day. Now, as temperatures climb, the desert changes once again. Every organism must follow the rhythm of this environment. The Namib Desert, one of Earth's oldest, stretches along the coast of Africa. Here, rainfall is rare, but life has found another source of water: fog. Moist air from the Atlantic moves across the dunes, creating a brief connection between ocean and desert. The Namib desert beetle has developed a remarkable strategy. Its body position allows tiny droplets of moisture to collect on its surface. A small adaptation, a simple solution, but in a place where every drop matters, it can mean survival. Other animals avoid the heat entirely. The fennec fox emerges after sunset. Its large ears help release heat and detect movement. The night transforms the desert. Creatures hidden during the day begin their search for food. The darkness reveals a different ecosystem. The desert teaches a powerful lesson. Life does not need easy conditions. It needs the ability to adapt. Deserts may appear timeless, but they are constantly changing. The landscapes we see today are the result of millions of years of transformation. Some deserts formed because mountains blocked rainfall. Others developed because of atmospheric patterns or cold ocean currents. The Sahara is one of the greatest examples of a changing desert world. Today, it is famous for vast dunes and dry landscapes. But this was not always the case. Thousands of years ago, parts of the Sahara experienced much wetter conditions. Rivers flowed, lakes existed. Evidence of this ancient environment remains written in the landscape: rock paintings, fossils, ancient river channels. The desert preserves memories of worlds that disappeared. Like forests and oceans, deserts are archives of Earth's history. For animals living in deserts, survival depends on efficiency. Every movement costs energy. Every loss of water matters. Its body is adapted to withstand heat, and its behavior follows the changing conditions of the desert. Many have developed ways to conserve water. Plants face their own challenge. Unlike animals, they cannot move. They have evolved strategies to endure. Some store water inside their tissues, others remain dormant, waiting years for the right moment. Then, after rare rainfall, the desert can transform. Seeds awaken, flowers appear. These moments reveal the true nature of deserts. They are not empty landscapes. They are landscapes of patience. For thousands of years, humans have learned to live alongside deserts. Communities developed deep knowledge of their environments. Today, deserts are also places of scientific discovery. Researchers study extreme environments to understand adaptation and the limits of life. Deserts remind us that environments are never isolated. Changes in climate can alter water availability and wildlife populations. But within these landscapes, life has created some of its most extraordinary solutions. A beetle collecting moisture, a fox surviving the night. Every adaptation is a reminder of evolution's creativity. The desert is not a place where life struggles alone. It is a place where life reveals its incredible ability to endure. Life changes, life adapts, and life finds a way to continue. Every river begins with a beginning almost too small to notice. A drop of melting ice, a moment of rainfall, a hidden spring emerging from beneath the ground. But as water moves across the planet, it gathers the stories of everything it touches. It carries minerals from ancient mountains, it nourishes forests, it creates wetlands. It connects landscapes that may appear separated by thousands of kilometers. A river is not simply water flowing from one place to another. It is a living pathway, a system that links the highest mountains to the deepest oceans. For millions of years, rivers have shaped the planet, and for thousands of years, they have shaped humanity. But how can a single moving force transform entire worlds? Chapter 1. High above the valleys, where mountains meet the sky, many of Earth's great rivers begin. Here, water is stored in snow and ice. Slowly, as temperatures change, it begins to move. A glacier releases meltwater. Rain falls across mountain slopes. Underground springs emerge from hidden chambers. Together, these small movements create something powerful: a river. At first, a river is fragile. It moves around rocks. It follows the shape of the land. But over time, its influence becomes impossible to ignore. Water carries pieces of the mountains with it. Small grains of rock, minerals, sediments created over thousands of years. The river becomes both a traveler and a sculptor. Across the planet, rivers have carved some of Earth's greatest landscapes. They have created valleys, canyons, and floodplains. Their movement is slow compared with a human lifetime. But over geological time, rivers become architects of the planet. As rivers descend from mountains, they begin to connect different environments. A stream becomes a habitat. A waterway becomes a source of life. The river's journey has only begun. Chapter 2. Every river tells the story of the landscape it crosses. Some travel through dense forests, some cross dry deserts, some divide continents before finally reaching the sea. All rivers are shaped by the same forces: water, gravity, and time. As rivers move, they transport material across the planet. Sediments carried downstream eventually create new landscapes. At river mouths, where fresh water meets the ocean, enormous deltas form. These regions become some of Earth's most productive ecosystems. They provide shelter for fish, nesting areas for birds, and fertile environments for plants. The Amazon River system demonstrates the extraordinary scale of a river's influence. Its waters connect mountains, forests, wetlands, and coastal environments. During seasonal floods, the river transforms the surrounding landscape. Forests become temporary waterways. Animals move through flooded habitats. Nutrients spread across the ecosystem. The river is not separate from the forest. It is part of its rhythm. A river changes everything around it. It shapes the land. It distributes life. It creates connections between worlds. Chapter 3. Beneath the surface of rivers exists a world often hidden from view. Freshwater ecosystems may occupy a small fraction of Earth's water, yet they support an extraordinary diversity of life. Every section of a river creates different opportunities: fast mountain streams, slow-moving wetlands, flooded forests, estuaries where rivers meet oceans. Each environment supports its own community. Few journeys reveal the power of rivers more clearly than the migration of salmon. Born in freshwater streams, many salmon travel to the ocean before returning years later to the rivers where their lives began. Their migration connects two worlds. The nutrients carried by their bodies return from ocean ecosystems back into forests and rivers. In the Amazon, another remarkable species has adapted to a world of changing water: the Amazon River dolphin. It moves through rivers and flooded forests, navigating environments transformed by seasonal cycles. Its existence is tied completely to the health of the waterways around it. Across the planet, Countless species depend on rivers. Insects provide food for fish. Fish support birds and mammals. Plants stabilize riverbanks. The river is not simply a place where life gathers. It is a system that allows life to continue. Chapter 4. Long before modern cities existed, humans followed rivers. They provided fresh water, supported agriculture, created routes for travel and trade. Many of the world's earliest civilizations developed beside great rivers: the Nile, the Ganges, the rivers of Mesopotamia. These waterways became foundations of human history. Across cultures, rivers have carried more than water. They have carried stories, traditions, spiritual connections. Today, rivers face increasing challenges: pollution, habitat changes, water demands, climate shifts. Because rivers connect so many environments, changes within one system can affect entire regions. Protecting rivers means protecting the networks of life that depend on them. But rivers also reveal the possibility of recovery. When ecosystems are protected, life can return. Waterways can be restored. The flow can continue. Outro. Every river carries a story. A story that begins with mountains. A story that passes through forests and valleys. A story that connects wildlife, landscapes, and human civilizations. Water is constantly moving, but the connections it creates remain. The river reminds us that Earth is not a collection of separate places. It is one continuous system. The mountains send water downward. The rivers carry life across continents. The oceans receive what the land provides. And through this endless movement, the planet remains connected. A river is more than a path through the landscape. It is a journey through Earth's history, a living thread linking the past, the present, and the future of life itself. Across Earth's oceans, thousands of islands exist as worlds apart. Separated from continents by vast distances, they have followed their own paths through time. Some were created by fire, rising from the depths of the planet. Others were built slowly by living organisms beneath warm tropical waters. Each island carries a unique history, and within these isolated landscapes, life has taken unexpected directions. A bird arriving on a distant shore, a seed carried by ocean currents, a species separated from its relatives for generations. Over time, isolation becomes a powerful force. It changes the way life survives. It creates new adaptations, new relationships, entire ecosystems found nowhere else on Earth. But how can separation transform a small piece of land into a world of extraordinary diversity? An island begins with separation, a boundary between one environment and another. For many species, crossing that boundary is impossible. But for a fortunate few, a journey across the ocean becomes the beginning of a new story. The Galapagos Islands rise from the Pacific Ocean, hundreds of kilometers from mainland South America. Their volcanic landscapes are relatively young compared with many continents. Yet within this isolated archipelago exists one of nature's most remarkable examples of evolution. When ancestors of new species arrive on islands, they encounter unfamiliar conditions, different foods, different climates, different challenges. Over many generations, populations can change. Small differences become significant. A new environment creates new possibilities. The marine iguana represents one of the most unusual adaptations found on islands. Descended from land-dwelling ancestors, it has evolved the ability to feed in the ocean. It dives beneath waves to graze on algae growing on underwater rocks, a creature shaped by isolation, a reptile transformed by an island environment. The giant tortoises of the Galapagos tell another story. Their enormous size and long lives reflect generations of adaptation. Each island created slightly different conditions, different landscapes, different resources, and different evolutionary paths. The island is not simply where life survives. It is what shapes life itself. Before life arrives, an island must first be created. Many islands begin deep beneath the ocean. Where tectonic forces move and magma rises, new land can emerge from the sea. Volcanic islands are born through powerful geological processes, a landscape created by fire. The Hawaiian Islands reveal this process in remarkable detail. Over millions of years, volcanic activity built mountains rising from the ocean floor. At first, these landscapes were lifeless rock, But gradually, life arrived. Seeds carried by wind, birds traveling across oceans, organisms transported by currents. Slowly, ecosystems began to form. Every island begins with a blank page, but evolution quickly begins writing. The first arrivals become the ancestors of future generations. Not all islands are created by volcanoes. Some are built by life itself. Coral reefs grow through the work of tiny organisms over thousands of years. An island is not only land surrounded by water, it is a relationship between geology, ocean, and life. Few places demonstrate the power of isolation more clearly than Madagascar, separated from other landmasses for millions of years. Among them are lemurs. These primates evolved in isolation, adapting to Madagascar's unique environments. Different species developed different ways of living. Some move through forests during the day. Others are active beneath the cover of darkness. Madagascar's plants tell the same story. Unique species evolved within landscapes separated from the rest of the world. In New Zealand, isolation created another remarkable evolutionary pathway. Without many predators, some birds evolved differently. Across the planet, islands reveal a fundamental truth about evolution. Life does not follow one path. It responds to every environment it encounters. Isolation does not stop evolution. It accelerates discovery. The same isolation that creates unique life can also make it vulnerable. Species found only on one island have nowhere else to go. Around the world, conservation efforts are helping protect these unique ecosystems. Researchers study island species to understand their biology. Communities work to preserve habitats. Restoration projects help damaged ecosystems recover. Protecting islands means protecting millions of years of evolutionary history. For human communities, islands are also places of deep connection. Generations have learned to navigate oceans and live alongside unique environments. The relationship between people and islands is part of a much larger story. Islands remind us that life is shaped by both connection and separation. An ocean can divide landscapes, but within that isolation, new worlds can emerge. A volcanic rock becomes a forest. A distant shore becomes a home for unique species. A small island becomes a record of evolution itself. Across Earth's oceans, these isolated places reveal one of nature's greatest abilities, the power to transform. Because even when life is separated from the rest of the world, it continues to create. It continues to adapt. And it continues to tell new stories. Above ground, Earth reveals only part of its story. Beneath forests, mountains, and valleys exists another landscape. A world carved not by sunlight and wind, but by water and time. Here, rivers flow through darkness. Minerals slowly create towering formations, and life survives in conditions that seem impossible. For millions of years, caves have remained hidden beneath the surface. They preserve the memories of ancient climates. They protect evidence of humanity's earliest journeys. And they shelter organisms that have evolved beyond the familiar boundaries of life. Without sunlight, without open skies, without the rhythms of the surface world, what secrets have been created in the darkness below? The entrance to a cave marks a transition between two worlds. Behind us is the familiar landscape of sunlight, wind, and changing seasons. Ahead is a place where time moves differently. The deeper we travel, the more the surface disappears. Temperature remains constant, sounds become unfamiliar, darkness becomes complete. Some caves contain chambers large enough to hold entire buildings. Others are narrow passages formed slowly through solid rock. Each cave is unique. Each is shaped by the conditions surrounding it. In Vietnam, the vast chambers of Son Doong Cave reveal the extraordinary scale possible beneath Earth's surface. Within this underground landscape exists its own weather system. Clouds can form inside the cave. Rivers flow through its depths. Plants grow where openings allow sunlight to enter. A world hidden from the surface, yet connected to it. Caves remind us that landscapes are not only found above ground. Some of Earth's most remarkable environments are concealed beneath our feet. Most caves begin with a simple process: water. Rainwater travels through soil and absorbs carbon dioxide, becoming slightly acidic. As it moves through cracks in limestone, it slowly dissolves the rock. A passage begins. Then another. Over thousands and millions of years, an underground landscape takes shape. Inside caves, water continues its work. Drop by drop, minerals are deposited. From ceilings, stalactites grow downward. From floors, stalagmites rise upward. Together, they create structures that may take thousands of years to form. A cave is a record of patience, a landscape built through countless small moments. In places such as Carlsbad Caverns, underground chambers reveal the incredible power of slow geological change. What appears still is actually a landscape in motion. Water continues to shape the cave. Minerals continue to accumulate. The underground world continues to evolve. Rivers beneath the surface also play a vital role. They transport water through hidden pathways, connecting underground environments with the landscapes above. A cave is not separate from Earth's surface. It is another expression of the planet's continuous movement. For most life on Earth, sunlight is the beginning of everything. Plants capture energy from the sun. Animals depend on the food chains that follow. But deep underground, another story unfolds. Some cave ecosystems survive without direct sunlight. In isolated underground streams, certain fish species have adapted to life in darkness. Over generations, some have lost the need for vision. Eyes become reduced, other senses become more important. The cave environment changes the rules of survival. Cave salamanders demonstrate another form of adaptation. Some species survive in permanently dark environments where food is limited. Their bodies are shaped by a world where energy must be carefully conserved. Above many caves, another relationship exists: bats. These remarkable mammals spend part of their lives underground, but their influence extends far beyond the cave entrance. When they leave to feed, they connect underground ecosystems with the wider environment. Their movements transport nutrients. Their colonies support entire communities of life. Even deeper, microorganisms survive in extreme conditions. Some rely on chemical energy rather than sunlight. Their existence expands our understanding of where life can survive. The darkness of caves is not empty. It is another environment where evolution continues its experiments. Caves have always been part of the human story. For early humans, caves provided shelter and protection. But they also became places of expression. Across the world, ancient artwork preserved on cave walls reveals moments from humanity's distant past. These underground spaces became galleries of memory. Today, caves continue to reveal secrets. Mineral formations preserve information about ancient environments. Scientists study cave deposits to understand past climates. They examine underground ecosystems to discover new species and new adaptations. But these hidden worlds are fragile. Changes in water quality, human disturbance, and climate can affect ecosystems that developed over thousands of years. Protecting caves means protecting records of Earth's history and protecting forms of life found nowhere else. Beneath the landscapes, we know exists another Earth, a world shaped slowly by water, a world where darkness became a place of discovery, where minerals record ancient climates, where creatures adapted to conditions unlike any found above. Caves remind us that the planet's greatest stories are not always visible. Some unfold beneath the surface. Some take millions of years to create, and some exist in places where humans have only just begun to explore. Earth is larger than what we can see, and even in complete darkness, life continues to reveal its extraordinary possibilities. Across Earth's continents are landscapes where the horizon seems endless, places where forests give way to open skies, where millions of plants move together with the wind. At first glance, grasslands may appear simple, a world dominated by a single family of plants. But beneath this simplicity exists one of the most complex ecosystems on Earth. Every blade of grass is connected to the soil beneath it. Every grazing animal influences the landscape around it. Every predator plays a role in maintaining balance. Here, survival is written through movement. Animals travel with the seasons. Rain transforms the land. Fire renews the ground. And life follows ancient rhythms that have existed for millions of years. How can a landscape built from grass support some of the greatest migrations and survival stories on the planet? As morning arrives across the Serengeti, grasslands awaken. The first movement begins quietly. A bird searching through vegetation. An insect emerging from the soil. A herd beginning its journey across the open plain. Then, as the landscape comes alive, the scale becomes clear. Thousands of animals moving together. The great migrations of East Africa are among the most remarkable movements in the natural world. Millions of wildebeest, accompanied by zebras and other herbivores, travel across the Serengeti ecosystem following seasonal changes. Their journey is not random. It is guided by ancient patterns. A search for nourishment, a response to the changing planet around them. For each individual, the migration is a challenge. Young animals must keep pace. Adults must find enough food and avoid danger. The journey connects entire ecosystems. Grass feeds the herbivores. Herbivores support predators. Their movements transport nutrients across the landscape. The open plains create both opportunity and risk. Without dense forests for protection, animals must rely on different strategies: speed, awareness, cooperation. The grassland rewards those that can adapt to constant change. A grassland is not empty space. It is a living stage where countless stories unfold every day. Grasslands are among Earth's oldest ecosystems, but they are not simply places where forests fail to grow. They are landscapes shaped by powerful natural forces: climate, fire, grazing, and time. The balance of rainfall determines the character of these environments. Too much moisture can allow forests to expand. Too little creates deserts. Between these extremes, grasslands thrive. Their survival depends on adaptation. Fire plays an important role. When natural fires pass through, they remove old vegetation and return nutrients to the soil. Many grasses have evolved with fire. Their roots remain protected underground. After burning, new growth can quickly appear. The secret of grasslands lies below the surface. Extensive root systems hold soil together. They store carbon. In North America, enormous herds of bison once shaped the Great Plains. Their movement influenced vegetation patterns and supported countless other species. Grasslands are not static landscapes. They are constantly changing systems. In open landscapes, movement becomes survival. For predators, it means finding opportunity. For prey, it means staying alive. The relationship between hunter and hunted has shaped grasslands for millions of years. The cheetah represents one of the most specialized hunters. Its extraordinary speed allows it to pursue prey across open ground. But speed alone is not enough. Success depends on timing, energy, and precision. Lions follow a different strategy. They rely on cooperation. Living in social groups allows them to defend territory. The grassland creates challenges that encourage different solutions. Far from Africa, the grasslands of North America tell another story. The American bison evolved within vast prairie ecosystems. Today, conservation efforts are helping restore parts of this ancient relationship. Across the Mongolian steppe, wild horses continue a tradition of movement across one of Earth's largest grassland regions. Here, the landscape remains defined by distance, by seasons, by the relationship between animals and the open land. Every grassland tells the same story. Life survives by responding to change. For thousands of years, humans have lived alongside grasslands. These landscapes supported cultures and communities. But the relationship between people and grasslands has also transformed these ecosystems. As natural habitats disappear, species that depend on open landscapes face increasing challenges. The loss of grasslands affects not only wildlife, it affects soil health, water systems, and carbon storage. Yet grasslands also reveal the possibility of recovery. Protected areas preserve ancient migrations. Restoration projects bring back native plants. Communities are rediscovering the importance of these ecosystems. Knowledge passed through generations reveals how animals, plants, fire, and seasons remain connected. Grasslands teach us that life is not always about standing still. Sometimes survival means movement, the movement of herds following ancient pathways, the movement of predators searching for opportunity, the movement of seasons transforming the land. Beneath every open horizon is a story of connection. Grass feeds animals. Animals shape landscapes. Landscapes support communities. And every part depends on the others. The great grasslands of Earth are more than open spaces. They are living kingdoms shaped by time and adaptation. And across these vast landscapes, life continues its ancient journey following the rhythm of the planet itself. Between the solid ground of continents and the endless movement of the ocean lies one of Earth's most dynamic environments, the coast, a place where two powerful worlds meet. Here, land is shaped by water. The ocean carries nutrients from distant places. Rivers deliver the memory of mountains and forests. Tides transform the landscape with a rhythm that has existed for billions of years. Within these changing boundaries, life has found extraordinary opportunities. Coral reefs build cities beneath the waves. Mangrove forests create shelters among their tangled roots. Sea turtles return to beaches where generations before them began their lives. The coast may appear to be a border between land and sea, but it is something more. It is a connection, a living transition zone where the forces of the planet come together. Why does life flourish at this meeting point between two worlds? At the coastline, change is constant. Every tide creates a new landscape. A rock covered by waves in the morning may become exposed beneath the afternoon sun. A pool left behind by the ocean becomes a temporary world filled with life. Tide pools reveal the challenges of coastal survival. Animals living here must endure both marine and terrestrial conditions. They face changing temperatures, changing water levels, and the powerful movement of waves. Yet within these small environments exists remarkable diversity. The coast is also a place where energy gathers. Ocean currents transport heat and nutrients across the planet. Rivers carry minerals from continents into the sea. Along rocky shores and towering cliffs, countless species depend on this connection. Bird colonies gather where ocean currents provide food. Every coastline tells a story of movement. The ocean is constantly reshaping the continents. Waves carve rock. Along the Norwegian coast, deep fjords were carved by glaciers moving slowly across the land thousands of years ago. When the ice retreated, the ocean entered these valleys, creating dramatic landscapes where mountains meet the sea. In places like the Sundarbans, even large predators have adapted. The Bengal tiger moves through tidal forests shaped by the meeting of tides. Sea turtles connect coastal ecosystems across enormous journeys. They travel thousands of kilometers, yet depend on specific habitats. For humans, coastlines have always been places of opportunity. Oceans provide food. Harbors connect civilizations. The coast is not the edge of the world. It is where worlds meet. Here, mountains become rivers, rivers become oceans, and at the meeting place between earth and sea, the story of our planet continues.